Pilots, grab your gun and grab your gear, and be sure that you have no fear. We're headed out onto the frontier, and I'm sure that our victory is indeed near. Don't really know where I was going with that. I just decided that I didn't want to do the whole, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to gaming with me, Tony Mo. I've been doing it for so freaking long, and I thought to myself many times over the last year, why not just try and do some funny, random, rhymey sort of intros every single time you make a video? So I'm committed to that. This one was actually alright, and I promise you that that was completely off the top of my head. That's kind of the point of them, much like the stories that I tell for new subs over on Twitch. I just want to go with it, just run with it, see if I can rhyme, flex them nursery skills, wait, nursery rhyme? Yeah. Flex them nursery rhyme skills and see what I can come up with. They'll probably suck more often than not, but maybe every now and then there'll be little gems. And you know what? As much as I like the whole welcome back to gaming with me, Tony Mo thing, I think it's time we leave it behind and we start a new chapter in our life of intros and whatnot like that. So, today, besides getting shot in the back by that guy, shame on you, ABC 167166577. Shame on you very much, my friend. There's a couple things I wanted to talk about. I'm continuing to mess about with my Jaeger loadout, as we're now calling it, and I finally went ahead and started rebinding some of my key bindings that just made absolutely no freaking sense at all. Let me tell you one of the things that we like to do as PC gamers. We like to unnecessarily restrict ourselves because, dude, G is for grenade and I is for inventory. Why would I not make that my key binding? It obviously makes the most amount of sense. We do that, right? PC gamers, where the hell are our heads at? That's also a wet floor sign, but hey. So, you'll notice that my grenade, or my ordnance ability, is now control. The thing about control, it's a bit of an underrated key on the keyboard, if you ask me. You can hit it with your pinky all day long, and never have to take your other three fingers off of W, A, S, and D. It's kind of fantastic, right? We don't really use it for that much stuff, especially once you realize that you can map, like, hold the crouch onto your mouse key, then you don't have to really worry too much about using your pinky to slide hop like Frothy does. I know that's kind of his thing. He's like, yo, make a strong pinky, bro. Play some guitar, and you can slide hop like me. I'm just like, I'm gonna go ahead and use my thumb mouse click, and then I'm gonna use control to huck grenades at people's faces. So that's my new key binding. And again, the main idea here with your key bindings, if you can get yourself away from the whole G is for grenade type thing, is to make a set of key bindings that allow you to minimize restrictions upon activation. So if I continue to have my grenade on Q, that means that I can't necessarily press A to strafe because my finger's on Q. That makes it very difficult to strafe in that direction or to move in that direction with the same amount of effectiveness that I once had every single time I go to throw a grenade. It's a bit silly, a bit unnecessary. There's not really a good reason for it, so that's why I've went for control. Spicy boys putting in the work. They've been doing well for me lately. They really have. And our team is kind of pwning these guys. I'm sort of accepting the fact that I'm probably never going to be really good at making, like, insane kill feeds while I'm also doing a live commentary. So I think the future of this channel is going to be entirely based around mediocre gameplay with live commentary. That's where I think we're going with that. Maybe at some point that'll work for us, or maybe it won't. So, back to the subject at hand, I'm going to ask you guys to really consider what the hell is going on with your key bindings if you play on PC. I mean, when you think about it, we go so far out of our way as controller users to make sure that we have as much of our control available as possible. I mean, we spend $150 on controllers that have paddles just so we can do away with the frustration of having to take our thumbs off of our joysticks to activate our jump button. Yet here we are, with like a billion keys. We can map whatever we want, and we're still using G for grenade, and we're still taking our fingers off of our strafe keys just for the sake of throwing a damn fire star. Just something to consider if you play on PC, especially as someone who's making your way to PC for the very first time. You may be really caught up in the whole old school key binding act. I'm asking you to do away with it and save yourself a lot of trouble long run. It's just all about building muscle memory. You can make key bindings work pretty much anywhere if you're willing to put in a little bit of muscle memory, if you're willing to accept the fact that G was your key for the last 40 years. Let's make it controlled now, because that just works better for you. And of course, it's also always about personal preference and personal comfort. Now, along with all of that, I've been thinking quite a bit about the idea of like sort of ultra high-end hardware, you know, both for PC and for console gaming, right? We talk about the Elite controller, for example. That's a pretty high-end piece of hardware that isn't necessarily necessary, but it's nice to have it. It makes playing a game like Titanfall 2 so much easier. And the spectrum at which we can purchase products like that is seemingly never-ending. You know, mice that have perfect one-to-one blah blah blah. I mean, that's the rival. That's how SteelSeries markets the rival, right? The first one-to-one perfect mouse and all that good stuff, right? We've got monitors that have 1 millisecond refresh rate. 1 millisecond compared to 4 millisecond. Not really that much, but you bet your bottom that anyone who takes competitive FPS seriously is running like a BenQ with 1 millisecond response time. They're running a TN panel. They're taking a massive loss to color reproduction because they want that 144 hertz. They want that insane refresh rate. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just curious as to how many of you actually go that far. It's something I think about all the time, and as I look to replace my second monitor and move my primary monitor into the position of my secondary monitor, I'm very much on board with the idea of getting a primary monitor that is dedicated for first-person shooters. I play a lot of them. I play Quake, I play Counter-Strike, I play Titanfall, I'm playing Lawbreakers now, so why not go all in, right? The money's not really that big of a deal. The monitors aren't that expensive today, so why not just commit and get that BenQ Zowie, get that 144 hertz, get that silky smooth 1 millisecond response time, even if, like, objectively, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Why not at least give it a try, right? It's that sort of enthusiast mindset where you're just like, yeah, I don't really need two 1080 Ti's in Crossfire, and I don't really need a Threadripper, you know, $1,000 CPU, but why not? I want it. I want to see what it does for me. I want to build sort of the ultimate sandbox for myself to then learn in. I see nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Even when it comes to console gaming, you know, I've known people for years who have bought BenQ monitors just to play first-person shooters on console. A friend of mine had a BenQ to play Halo on it. You know, it's like, yeah, having 1 millisecond response time, even at 60 hertz, it's nice. And for some people, it feels noticeable, and it feels like it's an easy way to step up their game, if you will. So how far do you guys commit to that mindset? Or are you sitting there right now with the CRT monitor with a broken joystick, the rubber's torn off of it, and you're just trying to make do with what you got? Let me know down in the comment section below. Definitely very interested to see where your mindset's at. I know it's not the majority of folks that kind of sit in that position, but I'm sure as hell interested to see just how many of you actually are there. Well then, 344 to 248. I'm thinking if all goes well here, we can definitely win this match. Where am I at on the leaderboard? 7, 0, and 23. How about we try and get some more kills, guys? Unfortunately, they've got 3 dudes in Titans. That guy just getting mowed down. Let's go ahead and get Scorch on the battlegrounds. If this tone doesn't smoke. Scorch, buddy, I need you right now! Just a second too late. At one time where it would have paid to not have that protection on our Titan. However, that was the dopest spawn ever, so back into Scorch we go. I think we got a couple Spectres on the left side, probably going to try and detonate at our feet. Let's go ahead and push straight up. Poke that Monarch with as much poking power as we can possibly muster up. Oh, why'd you get out of your Titan, buddy? That was probably not a good idea. Did he live through that? I wonder if he actually got on my Titan in the middle of all that. That'd be kind of skilled, I guess, right? I mean, lucky, but also skilled. I'd applaud him for it, but I'd also hate him for it. Let's put it that way. This is actually just about to be over with. I was like, I finished what I had to say, and I'm like, oh god, there's still like 10 minutes in the match left. What am I gonna talk about? Let's just commentate on what's going on, and we'll run with that. Honestly, one of the things that Mr. Fruit has going for him, right? I know that he edits most of his stuff together, but the dude just knows how to make people smile, make people laugh. I don't necessarily always find his humor to be funny, but the thing is, I think much like PewDiePie, they just go for it, right? And in a video that's 10 to 14 minutes long, a lot of it clicks with at least somebody in the crowd, right? It may not all click, but if I watch an entire Mr. Fruit video, chances are I'm going to laugh at least 4 or 5 times. And while I don't typically sit around and watch videos like that, I know a lot of people who do, and yeah, that's more than enough laughs, right? To call it a day and to say, I like this guy, he makes me laugh, so. The one thing he manages to do, though, is to perform relatively good during his commentaries. He's definitely able to get some tone going on. Regardless of, you know, the environment that he might set himself up with, the dude does pretty good, man. He usually kicks some ass, and he laughs, and he makes people laugh along the way, and you know what? I really do applaud that. I respect that. Let's see if we can't kill this Ronin over here. Bit of a cook grenade. We did some damage, unfortunately, much like many of my epilogues in Titanfall 2. We are going to be enjoying... Oh no, we actually got a respawn. Never mind. Well, at that point, well, I think we'll go ahead and call it there. It seems like our team is going to destroy most of them before they actually make it to the dropship. Well done. Not the best match I've ever had during a live commentary, but admittedly, the enemy team was kind of hunky-dory. I didn't really see him that often, so I'd like to blame the enemy team for a lack of kills, despite my use of an extremely good weapon, like the R97. That guy just had to come ruin our day, didn't he? Let's just go ahead and throw out some ticks there and there. Be sure to let me know where you guys are at when it comes to that sort of hardcore hardware purchasing. You know, are you one of those people sitting there with a 1 millisecond monitor and the best controller that you can possibly find with all 50 million paddles? How important is that stuff to you? How far do you go? And remember, if you're playing on PC, let's just all do our PC selves a favor and not fall into the whole G is for grenade deal. Remap your keys as you see fit. You have an expanse at least 16 to 18 inches wide, filled with individual key presses. Map them to your will and make sure that you have your fingers on as many keys as possible to prevent restricting yourself just because you decided to throw a damn grenade. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, remember to play smart, remember to play to challenge yourself, but most importantly, remember to play for fun.